If a conjoined twin commits a murder, who goes to trial? And if one of them is innocent, how do you punish the other? This reminds me of my old joke scheme of hiring conjoined twins to be the full person for all the insider trading and general legal, financial and corporate malfeasance at your billion-dollar company. However, you make sure it's documented that one of the twins was always wearing a blindfold and listening to an iPod, etc., so they were never party to the confidential business of the other twin, and so couldn't be punished for the crimes. As you are man of intelligence, answer me this. If you hire conjoined twins for a job, secretary, data entry guy, etc., should you pay them one salary or two? Cause they would be just doing one job, but they are two people. As a real world example, I know that in the documentary about the Hensel twins link, when they got a teaching job, they received the value of a single salaried position, but were each separately paid half of it. All the cons, none of the pros. Damn. Supreme Court case waiting to happen. Not for a little bit, unfortunately. May her memory be a blessing. In the 1600s, a man by the name of Lazarus Coleridolink killed a man, but had his death sentence commuted because it would have also killed his parasitic twin. Imagine being a conjoined twin, and your brother commits murder and you're called the parasite. Ouch. This is less of a conjoined twin, and more of excess limbs. The parasitic twin bit refers to how the twin was by all measures not as neurologically developed as even a baby. Eyes always shut, incapable or choosing not to speak, mouth always open, only really moving if stimulated. Wikipedia page on it implies was sufficient. Medical tools, not sure if we can do it today, but eventually the parasitic twin could be removed without killing the independent host twin, making them a lethal parasitic twin. Yeah, but if I went with the technical term, my comment wouldn't have worked. That would be a constitutional nightmare for any judge. That would give any lawyer a boner. The easier route would be to find both guilty or find both innocent, because any other choice is just too much headache. It would be a nightmare for any judge. Not just the super sexy ones. Not what I mean. Sigh. Well played. Punctuation man. The difference between let's eat grandma and let's eat grandma. Punctuation man. The difference between an observation and a hero with a really crappy superpower. Are you a fan of American Horror Story? The Freak Show season has a scenario kind of like this. I don't think it ever actually gets resolved, though. I think this would be a really challenging case. I think the important thing to consider would be if the twin who committed the murder was a danger to society. If so, I think it would be important to keep them both imprisoned in a way that protects society, but doesn't unnecessarily punish the innocent twin. Something like house arrest, or detention at some sort of high security residential facility that still provided access to internet, family visits, etc. I'd say personal restraints on the evil twin's extremities. Handcuffs and that anti-biting mask Lecter had. By the way, if anyone's creating a comic book villain, this guy just pitched a great design. I'd hazard a guess that the other twin could be accused of being an accessory at the very least. What if the other twin actively tried to stop the murdering twin, or was unconscious while the other twin committed the murder? Well, was it a planned murder or an act of passion? Was it accidental, leaving no time for the other twin to act? We'll need OP to weigh in on the details. I think, as with any murder, I think all of those factors would need to be taken into consideration. But I think as OP's question is phrased, we are meant to consider a case where it is clear that one twin is innocent and the other is guilty of murder. Several possible scenarios could fit the bill. The guilty twin may have planned the murder and not informed the other twin. The guilty twin may have committed murder while the innocent twin was sleeping or unconscious. The guilty twin may have lashed out suddenly in a murderous act without giving the innocent twin enough time to intervene. The innocent twin may have been physically unable to intervene due to their anatomical positioning in relation to their twin, or due to which body parts they have control over, even though sentencing in a case where the other twin could somehow be implicated would weigh more comfortably on the conscience. I think OP's question is meant to have us consider a clear-cut case where one twin is clearly innocent. I see your point. Is there a way to determine how the twins are conjoined? I would posit surgically separating them, with the innocent twin retaining ownership of the most important shared organs. If that's impossible or unethical, then I'd suggest building some sort of mobile prison contraption to ensure the guilty party feels the full effect of incarceration, while affording the innocent twin some semblance of a normal life. Edit, just realized people might take this seriously. I'm not a lawyer or judge. I don't bloody well know. Was just playing out the silly side of the question. Everyone is overthinking this. There is a super easy answer. Whichever twin gets found guilty has to wear the bee cage from the Wicker Man for a year. Put a sack over the guilty head and leave it there. Trial by combat. Twin v. Twin. There was actually a scenario like this. This guy had a conjoined twin who was paralyzed. It was way back in the day, so they couldn't tell if they were actually alive. Now, the twin who wasn't paralyzed was very poor and had to steal to eat. He was taken to court when found and were about to send him to jail until he brought up that his conjoined twin will suffer for something he didn't do. They let him off the hook and gave him a job. I might have some of my facts mixed up since I heard the story a few years ago, but that's the gist of what happened. I've often wondered if people who were believed to be in a coma but turned out to be paralyzed in modern medical history suffered mentally from being unable to do anything from distracting themselves. How are they not insane? They probably get washed and talked to by family members. Plus doctors might discuss things while in the room. But beyond that, I don't need sleep. I need answers. Imagine getting murdered by a set of conjoined twins. Robin R.W. Well, actually I'm a knight of the round table. All heads, you're a knight of the round table. Robin, I am. Left head, in that case I shall have to kill you. Middle head, shall I? Right head, oh, I don't think so. Middle head, well, what do I think? Left head, I think kill him. Right head, well, let's be nice to him. Middle head, oh, shut up. Left head, perhaps. Middle head, and you. Left head, oh, quick, get the sword out, I want to cut his head off. Right head, oh, cut your own head off. Middle head, yes. Do us all a favor. Left head, what? Right head, yapping on all the time. Middle head, you're lucky you're not next to him. Left head, what do you mean? Middle head, you snore. Left head, oh, I don't anyway. You've got bad breath. Middle head, well, it's only because you don't brush my teeth. Right head, oh, stop bitching and let's go have tea. Left head, alright. 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 We'll kill him first and then have tea and biscuits. Middle head, yes. Right head, oh, but not biscuits. Left head, alright. Alright. Not biscuits. But let's kill him anyway. All heads, right. Left head, he buggered off. Right head, so he has. He scampered. You don't punish the other. We live in a society that would rather let a guilty man go free than punish an innocent one. Any judge would feel very conflicted, but would eventually choose to declare the murderer guilty, but not impose a sentence that affects both men. I mean, it would be a legal nightmare from the start. Can you even keep the other one in jail during trial if there is no charge? Would have to at least be charged with accessory or something. I assume the question was a textbook theoretical, academic question, asked to push the limits of the modern legal system. For that question to be difficult enough, one twin has to be 100% guilty and the other has to be 100% innocent. However, In real life, how does one twin commit murder without the other conjoined twin participating? If he wasn't actively stopping the murder from happening, how is he not an accessory to murder? That it is better 100 guilty persons should escape than that one innocent person should suffer is a maxim that has been long and generally approved. Benjamin Franklin. Letter to Benjamin Vaughan. March 14, 1785. The Writings of Benjamin Franklin. Ed. Albert H. Smith. Volume 9. p. 293. 1906. The innocent twin cannot be sent to prison. That means the guilty twin goes free. I know what King Solomon would say. I'd say that the innocent twin gets to make all of the decisions for the sentence term. There are quite a few documented cases of this happening in the case of twins not conjoined, and in most, where they are unable to find which is guilty, they pronounced both innocent, because it is more an unjust fate for an innocent person to be imprisoned than for a guilty person to be free. Isn't that more of a failure to get proof beyond reasonable doubt though? You can't prove beyond doubt that either one of them did it, so they can't be found guilty individually. It depends on how much DNA you have to test. If you dig deep enough, identical twins are not completely identical. Let's ask King Solomon. Just saw off the offending twin's head and seal up the vital arteries so the innocent one can keep on twinning. I suggest a trial separation. Let's turn this into a real nightmare. Twin 1 kills Twin 2's significant other in the bed while Twin 2 sleeps. Twin 2 wakes up next to dead lover and Twin 1 threatens to call cops, report, etc. Twin 1 threatens to stab out Twin 2's eyes and cut out their tongue. Twin 1 is now guilty of homicide, threats of grievous body harm, intimidating a witness, possible kidnapping under threat, coercion by making Twin to help cover up the crime. Need I continue? Twin 2 is a victim of all of it, and now trapped with the perpetrator for life. Now you have to consider whether to lock up both the perp and torture, wrongfully imprison the victim, or set loser killer abuser back on the street with continued control and contact with the victim. I say lobotomize Twin 1, but that's just me. So there is actually an old black and white movie that this is the plot of. It was on the short list of movies to watch on movie night with our friends. And then, yeah, no, pandemic, chained for life, link. I gotta say, if a conjoined twin murders you, you probably need it dying. The twins get a medal for achievement. I'm curious what would happen if this actually was an issue currently. Can you imagine how much people would fight over this? Judges would no idea it would have to go higher up. Conjoined twins need to try this. For science, of course. Make the other eat Brussels sprouts. In the recent years, there have been related reports appearing in the news media about conjoined twins. Conjoined twins have been the theme of medical study, scientific exhibition, human inquisitiveness, and sometimes showbiz. This paper will try to examine the case of conjoined twins from a legal point of view. This is a hot topic with the common medical cases reported lately on conjoined twins. This paper will focus on some well-known cases related to conjoined twins and how courts considered them, that is, one individual or two. In doing so, the paper will highlight the different arguments set by the courts in an attempt to answer the main question of this paper. Link. Apparently there have been cases in which legal personality was assigned to each individual of conjoined twins. This argument would only be stronger in a criminal case, so it is definitely possible. Other than that, it would depend on the circumstances, but it's hard for there not to be some degree of guilt in murder cases. If you expand the scope to all killings, including involuntary manslaughter especially, then it quickly becomes possible to imagine a myriad of examples in which this is possible. The question of how you would end up dealing with this is a very good question. I imagine it would be virtually impossible. But you also have to remember that restrictions are not punitive and therefore do not require any mens rea guilt to be proven in court. This for example applies to criminal insanity, where you can be locked up for life, even though you are not guilty, because you simply do not have the mental capacity to be accountable for your actions. Well, in the famous case of Hiram McDaniels, the solution was to put the innocent head outside the cell window, so it could be free, while the rest of the body was in jail. Obviously in this scenario separation is impossible. Innocent twin is found not guilty of association, etc. Then I think it would probably be some form of protecting the public, while also not punishing the innocent twin. I'd imagine some form of house arrest with some sort of guard warden caretaker which would monitor the guilty twin, maybe restricting their access in ways normal prisoners are restricted, i.e. phone and internet use, while also making sure the other twin still has freedoms. Which now makes me wonder how parents punish conjoined twins. Obviously I know conjoined twins are rare, and conjoined twins who can't be separated are even more rare. What if one twin is horribly mouthy? What happens when one of the conjoined twin dies? This thread has got me thinking.